Welcome to Marketplace with Charles, where dreams are turned into reality. Marketplace is brought to you by Art of Skin Care, the company that brings out the beauty in you, and Kuwisa Lodge, where dreams do come true. From deep in the heart of Mabalingwe Nature Reserve, as well as Grace Farms, your #1 daily fresh produce. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we redefine your future by equipping you with tools that you need to achieve your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insights from experts in different fields of business, from wise men and women of great stature. On today's show, we meet up with a dedicated private chef who provides a variety of eatery services. Starting a business that focuses on food can be a rewarding venture given the certainty of food for human survival and that we eat a number of meals every day of our lives. Our guest today will share his story of pursuing his passion in food and training as a chef, who is now running his own business as a private chef. Please welcome Mr. Tefo Mokgoro in your home or wherever you may be watching this episode from. Tate Mokgoro, welcome to Marketplace with Charles.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a beautiful day, and I'm glad that you invited me to come sit with you and talk about food.
You know, sitting next to you makes me hungry.
Don't do that, don't do that.
We are talking food here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to scale down.
Scale down as in what way?
In eating.
No, you can't.
And you are here to motivate me to eat more.
You must not eat to live. You must live to eat.
Okay?
Yes, because food brings something that a lot of people don't understand. Food is an answer to a lot of issues that we have: homosexuality, GBV, gender misunderstanding, a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You know, when we break bread on the table, everybody keeps quiet. And it becomes that moment where we forget about anything, but we are enjoying what is in front of us, the effort that somebody took to bring the bread to us.
Tell me, if someone were to meet you on the road.
Yes, sir.
And say, who is Tefo Mokgoro? What business does he run? How do you package yourself?
Yeah, it's very weird that you asked that question, sir. But I'll tell you one thing about it. Tefo Mokgoro is a passionate person who loves food. Mm-hmm. Right? I always tell people that before you call me a chef, call me a person who's passionate about food, because a chef is somebody that says, I've studied, this is what I know. But a passionate person always continues the journey, the lessons, and tries to understand the diversity of people. So I would always say that I'm a food lover, and whatever you have, I can make something for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's very crazy that somebody would say, but what can you do to rice? Like I was explaining you, but I'll show you earlier on how yesterday I was having rice with just rice and butter, salt and pepper and truffle oil. Yeah. And those flavors, they sort of give you a nostalgic feeling. For me as a chef, they take me back to when I was studying and to what I would see on TV, what I would always dream about. And I was like, I've never been to France, but I feel like I'm in France, you know? And that's how I present myself, that I can do it, I will do it. If I don't know how to, I will take the initiative to learn so that I can give it to you. And if I can't give it to you at the level that you want me to give it to you, I will come back again until I get it right for you.
Let's talk about your background, your upbringing. How was it?
You know, my upbringing was very weird, but it was a normal upbringing. So my biological dad passed away in 1990, and I lived with my mom, who raised 3 boys. And when my brothers left Mafeking to come to Joburg to pursue their careers, I was with my mom at home. And I would always be with my mom in the kitchen, at church, during the day, doing my lunch boxes and stuff. And that's when it started developing. And as time went by, then my uncle started taking me to family ceremonies or events or functions. And I'd always find myself as the youngest boy who's amongst elders around the fire. And throughout that phase, I just fell in love with food. And a lot of people know me as a person that's a food lover. When they say Tefo or Tefo Mokgoro, you can't say the one without saying food next to each other. You know? And that's how my upbringing was. Amazing, but it was that's why I say it was very weird, because it was just food. When kids were watching cartoons or doing this, I'd play soccer, but I wouldn't play soccer the whole day. I'd go back home and cook with my mother, because the smell of roast chicken that I saw on television I remember we used to have TV1, Bob TV, and would see American sitcoms and have a full chicken, or English sitcoms, and they have just a whole bird. And it made me go crazy. And it was those kinds of things that, made me or molded me.
Aye, man. Tefo, this name rings a bell somewhere in the entertainment industry.
Which name?
Tefo Mokgoro. Were you not part of the entertainment industry at one stage?
Not really part of entertainment, and I wouldn't say entertainment. I used to DJ, do photography.
Exactly, I told you.
But as a creative, I always seeked something that I didn't understand, and there's a lot of things that go in one's life where you seek but you can't define. And I was doing all these creative things, DJing, taking pictures, doing film here and there. And then at a later point, I answered the call that I got, and that was food. Yeah, and then from then onwards, because of now my creative background and understanding of things and flavors, that's, you know what I mean when I say in a holistic manner as a creative, once you answer that, you'd realize why you went through those phases so that you are here, or that put you to one spot.
When did you become a chef? And will you say all these other experiences, they are contributing towards your success today?
I've been a chef for 5 years, qualified, right? But I've been a person who cooks and loves food ever since I was a toddler. On my social media page, I actually have a very funny picture where I think I was about this high, and I was like 5 or 6 years old, and it took me back to why I am who I am. And it's very hard to let people know that you can't take me away from this. If we had to go into the kitchen, for example, let me say something. I know my partner won't love this.
Okay.
For example, she'd fry eggs, scrambled eggs. So there's a specific way that I like my scrambled eggs, right? Whether you have butter or not, but I like them very soft and soggy. And people don't understand that. And one time she got it wrong, and I said, "Ish, but baby, hawadira sentle," and it gets that hectic to a point where I can never pull myself out of what I do for a living. Yeah.
Tell me, being a chef, what does it entail? And how different is it from an ordinary cook?
I have an issue with the word chef, because then it says that these guys are here, these guys are there. And in the kitchen, you'd find that somebody who's not qualified is called a cook, but somebody who's qualified is a chef. But yet they have the same experiences. 15 years, they can do the same thing. That's why I always tell people that this industry is not about your qualifications. Yeah. It's about what you learn every day, what you showcase, and what you deliver. You know, something you said earlier on, speed, excellency, and success. And I would also add in service, you know? And that's all that you need to understand about the industry. That you need to cook your steak in less than 15 minutes. You've prepped your veggies. And when I say prep veggies, you've blanched them so that by the time service comes, you toss them and you take them out. Your plate is hot when the client receives your food. It does not feel like it's food from yesterday.
Yeah.
They see speed, excellency, service, and quality, and dedication.
You know, the other time I went to the soccer stadium, and these guys were selling chips. They went all over advertising their chips, you know, in a box. One packet chips lalile, one packet chips lalile. I thought they're saying one packet chips thin. And yet, lalile to them, they were saying one packet chips, which they prepared it a day or two before. So those were just the leftovers.
Yeah.
And we all bought one packet chips lalile. and that was not nice because when you eat them, you could feel this is not fresh.
Yes. But you bought them because the person was able to sell you, right?
He marketed them very well.
And that's the other aspect I always talk about in business or in food, that we can cook and we can do these beautiful things. But are we able to do our admin? Are we able to do our marketing? Are we able to find our clients? Because a lot of chefs would say that I need funding. And I realize that money doesn't give you anything. What we need is access to markets and set up relationships so that once you've set up these relationships, your money will then come back. But beyond these relationships, when you're done with your service, which is success, excellency, and good service, it will grow.
Well, viewers out there, as you can hear, Tefo, I think now it's time to take a break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome to Marketplace with Charles. I am still sitting here with my lovely guest, Tefo Mokgoro, and he is a professional chef. Tate Mokgoro,
Yes, sir.
earlier on during the beginning of the program, you spoke about sitting down and dining. How important is it to sit down and dine as a family?
It plays a big role because you are closing off the day. Everybody left. They went to work, they went to school, and they did all these things. So when you're coming back, sitting at a table or in a TV room and eating, it sort of sets the tone to say, we are now together. Let's just have this piece of bread. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about tomorrow. Are things okay? A family that wakes up, goes to work, comes back, and then eats, but they eat in their rooms. I find it very weird. My question is, when do you get to have conversations? When do you get to catch up? You know, I'm making a point that my partner and I, if we don't do breakfast, we do dinner together. Either I cook or she cooks, even if it means let's just go buy dikota and sit and talk.
Yeah.
Because it closes off, it opens up. Ka Setswana re re, dijo di go phuthulla pelo. Ha o kgotse bo re, yo, ya no ke utlwile.
So a good meal sets the tone.
Yes.
For a great conversation.
Yes, yes. For example, this past weekend, I was serving a group of young passionate business African people, diverse table. Some guy was from Mexico, the other guy was from Spain, and all of these people, they run community-based projects. That's how their business are NPOs. And I remember I served a simple meal, a 3-course, and I would introduce the dish and I would listen to what these guys are saying over this meal that I'm serving. And they were talking about their problems at home, their problems in business. How can we help each other? How can we grow? And how can we make this table big so that we bring other people to come share ideas over a piece of bread?
Ndate, your website, which is great.
Oh, you've seen it?
A lot. Many times. I browsed it through.
Thank you very much.
It shows a range of delicious food there.
Yeah.
How do you describe your cuisine?
I don't like to limit myself, but because I know what I can do perfectly, I always say I do African, right?
Yeah.
I do Asian fusion, I do Italian, and I do French.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those, in fact, French and Italian and Asian, those are the basics that you are taught at school, but you're not taught African. But because of my upbringing, the African has always been in me because I'm an African. So all these elements are just added bonuses and all of that. So when you even when you ask me what can I do, I'll tell you. Asian, African, Italian, and French, because they play a bigger role internationally in the basis of cooking. That's where some of the greatest chefs come from. That's where the documentation of food comes from. Not to say that the documentation was not done in Africa, but those are the ones that started to commercialize the aspect of food and beverage.
Okay. Now that I've seen something on a website,
Okay?
I want to see something real.
Something real.
Yes. Are you able to showcase your skill? It's something simple, basic, and quick.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. So this is truffle, and truffle is not cheap, by the way. This is why I never, so like this piece of truffle, right?
Yeah.
I never throw it away. I just keep it, and I put it on the side because when you go to a restaurant, that's a lot of money. So I'm going to give you a piece of truffle over some rice. And this is truffle that I bought in Santon. So when I bought it, see how big it is. When I bought it, it was about this big.
A trifle.
Yeah, truffle.
Okay.
Trifle is dessert.
Yeah.
And then truffle is a fungus like mushroom. So when I bought it,
So you want me to eat fungus?
I mean, you eat mushrooms, don't you, sir?
I do.
Mushrooms is fungus as well.
Okay.
Okay. So let me do this. Let me just unwrap this. So this is basic rice with salt and pepper. It's not amazing, but it's beautiful. So this was rice, elele from yesterday.
Yeah.
Have you ever woken up and had food from yesterday?
I do that all the time.
Rye meat?
It's even nicer than fresh milk for me.
Okay, so this is basic rice, and when you smell here, you get in that pungent smell. Can you smell it?
Yeah.
That's the truffle oil. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this for you. I'm just gonna. And I was telling my partners like, yeah. You don't understand what just happened. So with truffle, the reason why I carry this in there because it goes dry.
Yeah.
So we always need to just keep it moist.
Yeah.
We always need to keep it moist. That's a lot of truffle. I'm sure people are saying, hey, this guy has money.
Is that very expensive?
Yeah, it's very expensive. So I bought 30 grams.
Yeah.
I bought for close to 800 rand. So these are microgreens, right? So microgreens, these are from carrots, bean sprout, beetroot, and they just make a plate of food look lovely. So I'm just gonna do this for you. And people are probably gonna ask themselves, why does this guy not doing fancy things? But this is rice.
Yeah.
But how does it look? It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I think go ahead.
Eating this, I would love to.
Go ahead and tell me what you think. And then while we at that, so I have ostrich fillet. I always make my own carpaccio because I feel if things are made by the hand, you can see the efforts. So let me just do that. Okay.
And what is that?
This is just basic mayo,
Okay.
right? And then this is your raw ostrich. And this is basically meat that has flavor that a lot of people would question, why are you eating raw meat? But yet we eat biltong. And yeah, it's just a crazy, beautiful dish. Let me just do this on the chopping board. Let's put some micros there as well. Hey, come on, man. Here we go. So this one I'll eat with you and I'll show you, just so that you are not skeptical and say, this young man is here to give me gout or give me stuff that's not cooked, which doesn't make sense.
So that is different from this. That's a separate dish.
Yeah, so this is another dish. So you would normally serve this as, in a restaurant, you'd normally serve this as your starter and not mainly as a main because it's very thin. So I think you'd get less than 100 gram from the weight of it. That's your serving portion. But it's excellent. It's beautiful. And then, let me do this. Let me borrow your spoon there for a sec.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
No, this is nice. I'm going to have this for
Okay.
lunch.
Oh, for lunch?
Yeah.
Can I send you an invoice, please? Because now, this was supposed to be for 2 minutes and tasting, but now you want to take the food away.
Tefo,
Yes, sir.
in little time, just under a minute that we have now,
Okay.
what did it take for you to be who you are? What steps did you have to take to be a great chef?
Sleepless nights, watching a lot of TV and documentaries and reading and consulting with family and getting support from my family, most importantly.
Yeah.
Without them, I would have never been the person that I am today. And there's a lot of them. You know, I was raised by a village, and I always brag about it, and I was like, I'm very fortunate that I'm a son who was raised by a village and I was supported by my family to follow my passion.
Will you say there's still enough room or space for some other youngsters there who want to be chef?
Yes, definitely. We actually have a shortage of chefs in South Africa. And I wish we could tackle that and be able to show and expose young South Africans into this business of food and culinary and beverage.
Okay.
Because then that means the more chefs we're putting into the industry, the greater we are. We become a tourist destination. We become, I don't know, the new France or the new age that people would love to come, instead of just being known for chakalaka pap and braai meat.
And if someone out there says he needs to be mentored by you, do you have something formal or informal that you can offer?
I don't like to say mentor because mentor-mentee puts a lot of pressure on me. But I always strive to work with youth, women, young women, whether qualified or not qualified. I'm always willing to share knowledge as to how things are done in this industry.
Wow. And if someone wants to get hold of you, for assistance, or maybe they want your services. How do they do that?
First and foremost, they can go to the website. So they can go to Molly's Third, Molly, 3rd.com. And then from then onwards, they can also look at my Instagram handle. My Instagram handle is Tefo Mokgoro. And once they have that, then I'm at the palm of their hands. We can start talking and we can exchange information and learn as to, what they want.
Tefo Mokgoro,
Yes, sir.
thank you for gracing our studios.
Thank you very much.
And viewers out there, I am Charles Ngobeni signing off on Marketplace. With Charles, I'm available on all forms of social media. God bless you. See you next time, same channel.
Hello everyone, my name is Cherise. I come from Pretoria.
My name is Ruth Ajayi. I'm from Nigeria.
My name is Satara Khan. I'm from Port Elizabeth.
My name is Pastor Mashan Mpahlele. My wife and I are pastoring a church in Midrand, South Africa.
I'm a second-year student at KBSM.
KBSM has truly transformed our spiritual life and our marriage life as well.
The Bible School has really helped me a lot.
I'd like to welcome you and encourage you to take the step to come and enroll with Kingdom Bible School of Ministry.
I'm encouraging you today to sign up.
We encourage you to join this Bible school.
And please remember, it's free.
Dr. Abraham S. Raja here. You've heard it all from so many different people. What are you waiting for? Join our free international Bible school today.